currently Git is running on your local. That means it's on my Mac, it's on my local machine. But in the case where I actually want to collaborate with a lot of people, I can't be just working on a single machine. And that's where platforms like GitHub actually come in really useful. So let me show you how we can actually use GitHub to host our Git repository so that our changes and our code sits on the cloud and is ready for us to collaborate with other people. So here I'm on GitHub, so all you need to do is to create a new account. Once you're done, you come back to this plus icon here and create new repository, and you land on this page. So I'm going to call this Git code. So my repository name is Git code. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create this repository. So what I'm going to do next is, we have done all these steps, right? Git init is done. You don't need Git this readme file, and you've done all the commits, etc. So what we do now is actually we add the remote. So we copy this. So depending on whether you're using SSH or HTTPS, your URL here would be different based on that. So I'm going to add this as my origin. So git remote, as I mentioned just now, remote is basically a reference to your Git repository which is sitting on the cloud. I'm going to add this as an origin, and I'm going to give the URL here. So once done, it's added the remote. So how do I check? In git remote, it says remote, there's something called origin is there. If I want more details, I'm going to put -v, and says origin is referring to this which we just added. So now I want to push to the origin. So again, push means I actually take out all the changes, all my commits here. I'm going to push it into the cloud repository. How do I do that? So I'm going to git push, I'm going to put origin, and I'm going to give the branch name. So currently I'm using master branch, so I'm going to put master here. And that's it. So it's going to count all the objects and do some compression here, and it writes all the objects, and it says master to master, so which means my local master branch has been pushed to the cloud branch called master. So if I go back here, I refresh this page, I would see that I'm already on the master branch. I have two files. My latest commit is called feature access completed on the file index.js. And if I want to see all the commits, I go back here, I can see that feature access completed, which user has committed this, and all the commits are here. So if you come back and take a look at this, we can see that git log, we can see the 3 commits here is going to be exactly the same here. So that's it. We have created a Git repository. We have actually initialized that. We have pushed our changes to the remote repository, and everything is synchronized here. So every time I complete a feature here, I'm just going to simply use git push, and it will push here. And yeah, there you go with Git. So just a recap. So some of the common Git commands that we have gone through is git init, which initializes the repository. So we can actually use git add to add files, but another shortcut is to actually use git add -a. So what this does is to add everything to staging. So for example, let's say in here I have a new file called let's say this is x.js. I'm going to put something like console.log x, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to have y.js where I'm going to console.log y. So now if you put git status, it would say there's 2 untracked files. And let's say if you have 1 or 2, it's fine, you can add one by one. But if you have like 1,000 different files, how can you add them together? So you're going to put git add -a, and you press enter, git status, and both of the files would have been already added. So that's the utility of this small helper flag here. And we have seen git commit -m with a message. It will help us to commit changes with a message. Git status gives us the current status of our repository, and git log shows all our commits so far. And if you want greater detail, we can actually put git show and the hash of the commit, which is the long string of digits and alphabets. So, and you can get that from the git log command. Git push is actually helping us to push to a cloud or remote repository. Git pull pulls and retrieves changes from the cloud repository. And git checkout -b feature X, which is, it just tells us to create and switch to a new branch called feature X. And again, if you want to go back into your master branch, all you need to do is that git checkout without the -b, you put the master and you're back into master. So there you go, guys. So this is a very quick introduction of Git, and Git is going to be really useful for developers who are working on projects, not just by yourself. So, but if you're working in a team, it's going to be really useful for you to collaborate with others. And of course, if you're just going to be an indie developer, then that's totally fine as well. Git actually will help us to take care and keep track of all the changes. And if you want to actually roll back to a change, that's also possible with Git. So those are the really important features of Git. So hope all of you found this introduction to Git series really useful. So if you guys actually like this video in this series, be sure to give me a thumbs up and be sure to also subscribe below for more upcoming content. Catch you guys in the next video.